I have another very unique AV problem down here that I'm hoping someone out there can help me try to solve. See, every time I turn my TV on with my Onkyo receiver and I go to input, it defaults the speakers back to the TV speakers. Let me try to explain. So every time I go into the TV and I turn everything back on, it defaults over here and it says TV speaker only. It should be on HDMI ARC device. When it's on HDMI ARC device, then the sound comes out of the speakers through the receiver like it's supposed to. But almost every single time without fail, when I turn the TV back on, whether it be the Apple TV, the Switch 2, the PS5, it doesn't matter what it is, as soon as I turn all that stuff back on, it resets itself back to the TV's internal speaker, and I don't know why. I tried turning Quick Start off and all these other options that get the TV ready automatically. Didn't seem to do much. It would work for like one or two times, and by the third or fourth time I turned it on, it would go right back to the internal TV speaker. I don't know why. I even turned off CEC control, whatever that's called, on all the other devices except for the Apple TV, and even then doesn't matter because I don't always use the Apple TV. I use a lot of the systems. Weird issues too. The PS5 will not be recognized by the HDMI Philips sync box anymore. Instead, I have to run the PS5 into an old, just cheap Amazon HDMI switcher, run that into the sync box, and then the PS5 will recognize HDR and 4K. If I don't do that, it'll say the TV doesn't support 4K, or the receiver doesn't support 4K, or the receiver doesn't support HDR, or the TV doesn't support HDR. I don't know what's wrong with this setup. The only thing I could think to do is take everything apart and reset it. Now you're wondering to yourself, this was working fine before, wasn't it? Well, yeah, for the most part. But then I bought the Switch 2, and I started having issues getting picture out of the Switch 2 on this whole setup here. So I had to start resetting things, and that's where it all went wrong. So now I have three issues actually in total. The CV speakers being the default speaker when I turn the system back on. The PS5 will not be recognized by the HDMI sync box. Only if I run it through a switch box, then to the sync box will it work. Oh, and on top of that, my Xbox One, it's older now, I get that, would not output 4K HDR at all. It only said I could do 1080p and the colors were all messed up, no matter how I hooked it up to the TV. Our technology was supposed to get more user-friendly and easier and more automatic the longer it went on. This is not happening. This is becoming more and more complicated the more stuff that I add to the system that's supposed to be automated. This stuff is supposed to sense each other, recognize each other automatically through HDMI. It's making my setup worse in every aspect. I'm not sure why. Does anyone know of any hidden settings or things I'm missing on my LG TV? Here is an G2 and my Onkyo receiver. I should have never bought that. I should have kept with either Denon or I should have stayed with Pioneer, but whatever, we all make mistakes. I'm not sure what to do anymore except for starting to remove things from the system and kind of starting over again. That's where I'm at. What do you think?